Hey Brad, we're back. What'd they do?
They clicked the link. Good job, guys. Way to click the link.
Thanks for coming back, guys.
Yeah, our comedy hour is over now, so let's talk about foliar. So this corn crop, Kyle, like I said, we're going to be starting our first herbicide application, and for us, we talk about, even in beans, let alone corn, any crop in general, I never want to get behind on potassium, boron. You just cannot catch up with those two nutrients, right? So we already have done, obviously, and many of you guys have done through your soil testing. That's the first thing. You got to have a good soil test. You got to know what you're dealing with. Then, looking at what's your program going to be, what are your macros, what are your micros, and developing that at planting time. And then the next piece is, Kyle, foliar.
Right.
So foliar, what do we want to focus on?
Really, to me, you guys know I always like to kind of equate things to other things. So, we've got the race car here. It's planted. It's off to a great start.
We got 600 bushel corn potential.
Right. What happens if you run out of gas?
We don't have 600 bushel corn.
Exactly. Our Exceed Nano Brown Sugar. I look at that as really the first step in filling up the gas tank. It's energy. It is what gas is to an engine.
It's sugar, right?
It's sugar.
But sugar's not sugar in this world, right?
It's not sugar.
Can't go out to the store and just give me a 5-pound bag of sugar and emulsify it in water and think it's going to work.
Nope. So the Exceed, we've got a little bit of molly in there, just really helping drive everything along. There's some humic in there, as well as a nano brown sugar. So like you said, sugar's not sugar. So we've got those nanoparticles along with the molly, the humic. We're going to be able to hold on to it. We're going to be able to keep it in that rhizosphere, that rooting zone.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to recycle it. So there's the first step, Brad. It's filling up the gas tank. It's making it stay full.
Well, I mean, many of you guys have drove around the countryside, and let's be honest, I've done this myself in my career. You got a little hot mix one day in the sprayer tank, right?
Right.
Ever burned corn? Ever had the leaves go white, and then it's got to regrow? We've all done it. I've done it too, okay? Full disclosure, I can admit that and be transparent. But with Exceed speeds up the metabolism, so it's going to help kill weeds. You're going to have a better job at burning down these weeds and making that chemistry work better. But here's the cool part. If these corn crop that's resistant to chemistry that you're spraying, it's going to help metabolize that chemistry, right? And slow the, what I consider what's called ROS, reductive oxidation species.
Right.
So it's going to lower that stress level that plant has to go through and speed up the metabolism. So that's what's going along with Exceed Nano Brown Sugar. The next,
I was going to say, so to kind of, keep going along. We've got our gas tank full. We've got our weeds dead. You've already hit on 2 of them. Now let's focus on some actual macro and micronutrients. So K-Blast. You guys know we've talked about it before. Potassium acetate. So what are we trying to do there? We're trying to give these corn plants just small doses of 100% available potassium. Not only as a nutrient or an element to keep it going, but also as we're sitting here in a 90-degree day, give it a drink, help water moving. We still have plenty of soil moisture, so let's keep these water, let's keep the water and the nutrients, moving.
Yep. I mean, I've had this plant out of the ground maybe 5 minutes, Kyle, and
they're dry now. They're
dried up roots and they're starting to be brittle and fall apart. I mean, that's a big deal. We got to have water movement. We got to help these plants stay hydrated, root down, and not dehydrate. But we talk about that. Even foliar feeding. If you don't have boron on yet, if you didn't have it in your 2x2, you didn't have it in your side dress, we can.
Even if you did.
Oh yeah, even if you did, we're still at it because we are. But even if you didn't, and boron's going to be an issue for you. This is a good time to start foliar feeding like tune-up B. And actually get boron in the plant because of certain things that are in that tune-up B, like yucca plant extract. Because guys, just straight boron, 10% boric acid you put on a plant, the molecule is so big, it's hard to drive it in the plant leaf tissue through the stomate. You got to be able to pair it with something and drive it in. Tune-up B paired with Exceed is a huge combination of getting those in together. And we talked about K-Blast. We're around in turn 3. We're in the month of May, right?
Yep.
Talking about race cars here, we'll just go old Indy 500 style on it. So we turn 3, K-Blast being your big thing, and then you want the new track record. I won't get my Tom Carnegie voice. That's probably not a good idea. But the new track record turn 4 coming down the home stretch is going to be Draft. So Draft is a product that actually has cytokines, auxins, kelp extract, a little bit of potassium in it. There is sugars in there. It's going to start driving basically that stress level down the plant and allowing these roots to continue to grow and signaling that plant to basically say, hey, listen, I'm under stress. I know I'm not going to be growing as much above ground, but it's going to change a hormonal response in that plant to signal root growth. And that's what you got to have. If you want to be able to hold on to that 600 bushel corn in round turn 4, you know, you got to be able to hold on and lower the stress. So, you know, we may not have 600 bushel corn out here by the end, but we're trying to get 350. Right. You know, and everybody's like, oh, there's just no way. You're in central Indiana. You don't live in Illinois, Iowa, in the best dirt of the world. How can you raise 300 plus bushel corn? Well, let me tell you, you can. Okay, it's hard. Weather's got to be lined up. But, you know, I look at things, guys. Everybody says, well, why do you want to put this much money in a corn crop? And we got 425, 430 corn right now. Elevator for decent corn, 25. You know, why do I want to put this much into it? Well, the only way to get ourselves out of a situation is
bushels.
I got to produce more. And, you know, we can save our way to prosperity. Well, no, we can't save our way to prosperity, but you can't spend yourself in the poorhouse. Somewhere along the line, you got to keep this corn crop going, and you've got to push it. So those are a few things in the foliar that are really base foundational. Like I said, you can do one of them, you can do all of them. But I will tell you this, I mean, Kyle, is it the same thing for everybody?
It's not.
No. So you guys need to call us and work with Kyle and myself and our team at Cross Creek to figure out what is their plan. It may be 1, it may be 2, it could be 4 things they need, but it's going to be individual. And I think that's where we need to work with you guys. You guys get a hold of us, and then we'll help put together what that's going to look like and help lower your cost of production. Because guess what? Being a low-cost producer means increase in bushels. It doesn't mean keep buying stuff less.
Right.
So you guys stay with us. Catch us back on the next one. We're going to be out here talking about it a little bit later. But as you guys start hitting the sprayers and start hitting the fields, please give us a call before you hit those and let us see how we can help you guys. If I miss anything else, Kyle?
I think we're good.